Distinguished President of the Republic of Slovenia, Minister of Education, Science and Sport, Minister for Slovenians Abroad, ASEF President and ASEF founding members. Ladies and gentlemen in Slovenia and abroad, it is my great pleasure to warmly welcome our global community to the end of the year celebration organized by the American Slovenian Education Foundation. My name is Tjaša Mlakar and I'm an ASEF Junior Fellow 2021 generation, and together with Gašper Podobnik, a 2020 Junior Fellow, we will be hosting tonight's event.
A warm welcome from my side as well. We are honored to host this wonderful event celebrating the accomplishments and achievements of the ASEF community this year. Together with my co-host Tjaša, we will take you on a journey around the world to highlight some of ASEF stories from our junior fellows.
Indeed, there are so many incredible achievements to talk about. We are delighted that in the past year, many junior fellows, including myself, have had the opportunity to visit their ASEF mentors in person and make the most of their research visit. I was lucky enough to visit Professor Dr. Jure at University of California, Riverside, where I worked on my master thesis project that focused on the investigation of circular RNAs. In September, I have successfully defended my thesis with Dr. Murn as my mentor.
Tjaša, that's great to hear, and congratulations on successfully defending your master thesis. I'm also pleased to report that after postponing it for 2 years, I was able to visit Professor Dr. Matej at the University of Cambridge. Together, we have been working on an artificial intelligence project to improve the treatment of breast cancer patients. I must say it was a tremendous learning experience. Now, let's focus on tonight's event that is dedicated to recognizing successful ASEF stories and paying tribute to our generous donors who make all of this possible.
That's right. I'm very much looking forward to hearing stories from our junior fellow colleagues who visited various countries around the world, as well as experiences from fellows visiting Slovenia. However, tonight we are not only celebrating the achievements of ASEF fellows, but also of all Slovenians, at home and abroad, who are contributing in any way, shape or form to scientific advancement and innovation. Investing in knowledge and education drives our communities forward. This holds especially true in the current geopolitical situation around the globe, where diplomacy needs to find its way to once again become the one and the only way of solving open issues.
Tjaša, I could not have said it better. Without further ado, let's open the end of the year celebration with greetings from our distinguished guests. But before we turn the floor over to them, let's first listen to Jakob Kobal, ASEF's own junior fellow and a talented accordionist, who will perform Fugue in C major, written by Johann Sebastian Bach.
We are honored that the President of the Republic of Slovenia, who has been our distinguished supporter since the early days of our foundation, kindly accepted our invitation to greet all the Slovenian scientists and professionals abroad. Mr. Borut Pahor was unable to join us today. However, he kindly sent us a letter, and it's my honor to read you the letter now. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, as the President of the Republic of Slovenia, I have always enthusiastically followed and supported the American Slovenian Education Foundation. From the first idea, through the establishment and admiration of its fast development into a respectable and high-profile institution. In less than a decade, the ASEF became an important bridge between the United States and Slovenia, one that is annually crossed in both directions by excellent young people who will create our future. Together with you, I have been striving for successful Slovenian scientists working abroad to inspire their young compatriots so if they would, like you, dare and know how to reach for the stars. Your work has also been a great inspiration for me. On this occasion, I wish to thank you for your good cooperation during both of my presidential terms. We have traditionally met every December at the Presidential Palace, participated in other important national and international events, and the last time we were together was in October for the first presentation of awards from the Dr. Uroš Seljak Foundation. Dr. Seljak was also one of you. I determine with satisfaction that young people welcome your inspiration with open hearts, and your successes give them courage needed to realize their own daring ideas. This is exceptionally important for Slovenia and our scientific and economic relations with the United States. At the end of the year, as we look back at our past achievements, we are also gazing forward with expectations towards the future that is yet to be revealed. Irrespective of this, I think that Slovenians have all the opportunities for a glorious and successful future. We have all the necessary material and spiritual building blocks, from our beautiful country to the wonderful people who create at home and abroad. If we can always rely on one another, help and understand each other, there is nothing in the future that could fill us with fear, and we can look ahead with hope and expectations. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends from the ASEF, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the best in the new year and many successes with all your audacious plans. Good luck. Borut Pahor, President of the Republic of Slovenia.
We thank Mr. President for these encouraging words, and we wish him all the best in his future endeavors after the end of a successful presidential mandate. I'm now delighted to welcome Mr. Andrej Medica, Minister Plenipotentiary, Chargé d'Affaires ad interim, and the Embassy of the Republic of Slovenia in Washington. The floor is yours.
Dear members and friends of the American Slovenian Education Foundation, I'm very pleased to be able to address you on behalf of Embassy of Slovenia in Washington, D.C. As the holiday season approaches, allow me to congratulate you on yet another successful year, both in your personal endeavors in Slovenia, the United States or abroad, and in building bridges between the peoples of our two countries. This year has been particularly jubilant for Slovenia-US relations. In August, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. Ever since 1992, our partnership has grown and benefited not just the people of our two countries, but of the whole international community. In the course of the year, there have been many meetings between high representatives of Slovenia and the US discussing a broad range of bilateral and international issues. It is accurate to say that Slovenian-American cooperation has never been more productive vanities today. In our day-to-day work as diplomats, we fully recognize the fact that relations between two countries can only be as strong as the bonds between their people, individuals and families, but also NGOs, scientists, scholars, students, entrepreneurs, cultural workers, and athletes. Let me therefore emphasize how grateful we are for all your contributions to bringing Slovenia and the US closer together through educational, scientific, and technological cooperation and exchanges. Our embassy particularly appreciates the efforts of all of you who live and work here in the US and promote Slovenia in your professional and local communities. Undoubtedly, your lives and careers are busy, yet you always find extra energy to give back to your home country. Fostering cross-border scientific, cultural, and people-to-people relations, and strengthening ties with fellow citizens and other compatriots around the world has been among the top priorities of the Slovenian Foreign Ministry. In today's competitive international environment, this has become an even greater necessity, especially when it comes to engaging highly educated and skilled individuals. A country with no systematic approach will simply fall behind. Saying that, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs looks forward to a research study to be finalized next year by your foundation and Nova Univerza, with focus on the role of modern-day Slovenian diaspora and its soft power in strengthening relations with the US and Canada. We are confident that its findings and recommendations will help upgrade our policies and will result in even closer partnerships in many different fields. In conclusion, you have friends here at the embassy, and our door is always open to you, not only when citizen services abroad are required, but also for any opportunity to jointly promote Slovenia and its human capital in the United States. We congratulate the fellows and mentors participating in this year's program, as well as the recipient of the 2022 Community Award. We wish all of you a happy holiday season and a very successful 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Medica, Minister Plenipotentiary. And now I'm pleased to welcome Professor Dr. Igor Papič, Minister of Education, Science and Sport.
Dear colleagues, it is my great honor to address you on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Science and Sport at the event where you will be celebrating your accomplishments in the year that is coming to an end. It will soon be 10 years since the American Slovenian Education Foundation started building a bridge between Slovenia and the US, as well as other countries. Students, mentors, and professors are given the opportunity to upgrade their academic excellence, and they then transfer their knowledge to society. Giving back to the community is one of the fundamental values of the American Slovenian Education Foundation, and it will be also one of the fundamental values of the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Innovation. I'm very pleased that the division of the existing ministry was made possible and that I will be leading this new ministry, which in short is called the Ministry of Development. In particular, it is important that we start transferring our knowledge into society. So far, we have not been very successful in doing this, which is why I have been advocating for a special ministry. For me, scientific research and innovation system forms a country's basic infrastructure. Why? If we look at the experience we had with COVID-19, we can see that the countries that have been supporting and developing basic and applicative research for decades were also able to respond to the new conditions that occurred due to COVID-19 relatively quickly. At the state level, we were not quite as successful in doing this in Slovenia. I also advocate that universities and research institutions acquire more opportunities to partake in the calls intended for innovations. They are currently often denied direct participation. Various ministries dispose of funds for innovations, but suitable calls have to be drafted. In doing so, our Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Innovation can be of assistance to these ministries. With regard to budgetary funds, the government is keeping its promise and is increasing fund for scientific research. If 308 million euros is available this year, more than 440 million euros is anticipated in 2 years' time. Slovenians are among the most educated people in the world. We have top experts, including all of you who are present here today. It is time to also find our way among the most developed countries in the world. And the means to take us to the goal are primarily innovations and science. By providing a stimulating environment, we will be more successful in drawing back to Slovenia the experts who are now working abroad, while also attracting foreign experts. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a pleasant evening. It is right that you are celebrating your achievements in the year that is coming to an end and set new goals which will, as always, undoubtedly be very ambitious. I'm looking forward to witnessing your new successes. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Igor Papič, Minister of Education, Science and Sport. Your generous support means a lot, as ASEF activities are closely related to your field of ministry. Now, I would like to welcome our next speaker, Minister for Slovenians Abroad, Mr. Matej Arčon.
Pozdravljeni, veliko veselje mi je, da vas pozdravim na današnjem dogodku. Zagotovo je dogodek v času, v decembru, ko na nek način pogledamo preteklo delo in nazadnje usmerimo tudi misli za naprej. Jaz moram reči, da sem bil zelo počaščen in vesel, da smo se letos tudi z vašimi štipendisti srečali, da sem spoznal tudi njihove izkušnje, ki so nenazadnje tudi zelo dragocene. Predvsem pa se mi zdi vaše poslanstvo, ki ga imate kot tako, da ste nek most med matično domovino in tujino in da gradite to medsebojno sodelovanje in krepite slovenstvo v tujini, hkrati pridobivate neprecenljive izkušnje za vaše študente, ki jim bodo služile zelo dragocene v njihovem življenju. Pred časom, par dnevi sem se tudi vrnil iz Londona, kjer je bila tudi predstavljena vaša analiza, ki nam bo v uradu služila za to, da bomo pripravili ustrezne ukrepe, ko bomo osnovali strategijo na področju povratništva. In tudi se mi zdi zelo pomembno, da boste kot ASEF vključeni v del medresorske skupine. Absolutno so nam vaše izkušnje, vaše znanje, vaše sodelovanje z vami zelo dragocene, da bomo lahko resnično prihodnje leto skupaj z ostalimi ministrstvi pripravili zelo ciljno usmerjene ukrepe in mogoče tudi ustanovili pisarno, ki se bo ukvarjala s povratništvom. Jaz bi resnično vsem mentorjem, študentom, tutorjem, ustanoviteljem se zahvalil za vaše delo v letošnjem letu in hkrati na nek način pričakoval, da bomo to sodelovanje še bolj okrepili in poglobili, predvsem pa, da to vaše poslanstvo nadaljujete še naprej. Želim vam vsem ene prijetne božično-novoletne praznike in vse dobro v prihajajočem letu.
Thank you for your kind words, Mr. Arčon, Minister for Slovenians Abroad. We also look forward to future collaborations and are grateful for your support.
It is now my greatest honor to introduce the President of ASEF, Mr. Thomas Brandi, Slovenia's Honorary Consul living in California. Mr. Brandi, the stage is all yours.
Hello, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to be the President of ASEF. You know, first I want to thank the people that have thanked us and welcomed us. President Pahor has been unyielding in his support for us and frankly given us great credibility through his presence and his office. I would like to thank Andrej, Medica, Igor, Papič, Matej, Arčon for their kind words of support. This organization was started with a dream that first began to take fruit through the ideas, the very fertile mind of Jure Leskovec and Father Peter Rosic. They met at a DuPont Circle, near DuPont Circle in Washington, D.C., with this idea, the idea to allow young Slovenians to explore their potential, explore their opportunities, to meet great professors around the world and grow and continue through over time, to continue that process, to allow the growth and development and enhance society and bring Slovenian cultural bonds together. They approached me and we had this idea and founded the organization, and we were initially told it would take at least a year or two to get started. Not gonna happen, we were told. 3 months later, we had our first 3 students at Santa Clara, at Stanford, and at University of California. And from that, since 2014, after initially being told it wasn't gonna work, we have over 200 fellows that have participated in this program. An extraordinary accomplishment, but an accomplishment that is just the beginning of, if you think of it in terms of when we had the first spaceships orbiting the planet, and now we're going to Mars. We seek to do the same thing. There is nothing that can stop us if we have your support. And the support comes from the professors who give their time, who give their talent, who reach out to the young people, who collaborate with them, who share their knowledge, and who join with them on papers and other research projects, all of which is happening. And it can only happen through quite candidly, donations and support, monetary support from people. Without that, we simply couldn't exist. And so I would ask you simply to dig deep if you can and help us. You can go to the website and see. The other thing that is really an experience that's of tremendous personal reward. My wife and I have hosted 4 young people in our family in this program. They've lived with us for 10 weeks. A number of you watching this right now, I know Mario and others have done the same. It is an extraordinary experience. You don't just have a student in your house, you create a new member of your family. My wife we have our children, we have our granddaughter, and we have our 4 ASEF sons. We've gone to 2 of their weddings, the most recent one a month ago. And it is an experience that will enrich your lives. So on behalf of ASEF, I encourage all of you to get involved so that we can take our version of our dream to the farthest reaches of the planet. And it's my pleasure. Our next speaker is the driving force, the man, Jure Leskovec. Thank you very much for participating today, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Brandi. Today is all about celebrating ASEF achievements, which wouldn't happen without our generous sponsors and donors. Mr. Brandi is not only the president of ASEF, but also its biggest supporter, just like many of you who have joined us today. Tonight, ASEF wanted to also demonstrate our immense gratitude to all of those who kindly and selflessly support ASEF throughout the years in achieving its goals. Your financial support is crucial for ASEF, especially in these turbulent times. We are truly grateful for all your help, and we would kindly invite you to further support us. You can find more information regarding how you can support us in the link that we shared in the chat.
As Tjaša said, tonight is a celebration. We celebrate not only the new collaborations between our fellows and mentors, new knowledge gained and new memories made, but also the successful completion of many projects within our foundation. ASEF has become an organization that allows fellows to grow as young intellectuals, both inside and outside of their professional field. With a broad range of events that have been undertaken in the past year, ASEF also gives back to the community, allowing the knowledge to be passed on. At this point, I turn the floor over to ASEF co-founder, Professor Dr. Jure Leskovec, who will take us through ASEF activities and achievements that happened in the year 2022.
Yeah, thank you so much. I am so excited to see everyone here and to see what a great program we are able to pull together today. Thank you for all the speakers and all the attendees, and especially thank you to all the supporters who have been supporting us through the years. It's been an amazing year for ASEF. We came out of COVID stronger than ever. And as Tom mentioned, in 8 years since ASEF was funded in 2014 till today, we helped exactly 200 students to grow, visit Slovenians all over the broad, learn new knowledge, learn Slovenian language, learn the culture, and change the course of their lives forever. So really, the goal of ASEF is to build bridges and connections and unite Slovenians all over the world, all around the world. And the way we do this through our youth, through the young, right? We enable this unification of Slovenians through the fellowship program that allows young Slovenians or people of Slovenian descent to go visit Slovenia, go abroad, acquire new knowledge, and also learn something about Slovenian communities abroad, or learn something about Slovenia culture and language. So we have what we call a global fellowship program where young students from Slovenia can sign up to go visit Slovenian communities all over the world, do a research visit, learn something in their field of studies, but also meet Slovenians that live abroad, live with Slovenian families abroad, and then return back to Slovenia with all the connections and all the new knowledge they have acquired. Similarly, we also have a program. Part of this program is for Slovenians who live abroad, students of Slovenian heritage, to come to Slovenia, but not only to learn the language and culture, but also to make progress in the field of their study or make a progress professionally. So it's a summer internship plus experience in Slovenia. Here is a cohort of 2022, 12 young students who visited Dolenjska, and this is in front of the city hall in Novo Mesto. In 2022, we have 51 mentors all over the world who hosted Slovenian students. They reside at 44 universities across all the continents except Antarctica. So Northern or Americas, Europe, Asia, Australia, and so on. We were able in 2022 to support 30 junior fellows, students, to went for a research visit outside Slovenia to these 51 professors. And we also have Slovenian families who are crucial to the program to host these students at their home, and this way show the students from Slovenia that the Slovenian community and Slovenian culture is strong all over the world. What we have also done is that we extended this summer exchange program in actually a 3-year informal education program with a lot of different events, lectures, workshops, as well as a tutorial program where groups of students meet every month to further deepen their expertise and broaden their horizons. In terms of students of Slovenian heritage, we had 12 of them visit Slovenia this year, and they were mentored by 11 mentors in Slovenia. A large majority of them comes from the United States, but also some from South America, Australia, as well as Europe. We had a set of nice events for them, a reception with the Government Office for Slovenians Abroad, trips, heritage trips to different parts of Slovenia, some mountain hiking, Slovenian language school, and things like that. In 2022, ASEF organized 86 different events. So that's nearly 2 events per week, with over 1,500 different people attending these events. We have also launched Dr. Uroš Celiac Award in collaboration with the University of Ljubljana, which awards $10,000 every year for the best undergraduate research project. This award was actually endowed by Uroš, who is one of the ASEF professors. He won a big international award in the field of astronomy and decided to donate the proceeds of the award and endow the award for Slovenian students to encourage them to do research. In collaboration with US Embassy in Slovenia, we launched travel grants that allows Slovenian scientists to visit their US collaborators. And what is also important is that ASEF is becoming a leading research organization for studying brain circulation and studying the exchange between Slovenians all over the world. We have conducted the largest research studies of why Slovenians leave and why would they return to Slovenia. And surprisingly to everyone, we identified that 65% of all the Slovenians who live abroad, 65% aim to return or would like to actively engage and help Slovenia. So we see it as a huge opportunity to further enhance our work and allow for more flow of knowledge, people, information, and business between Slovenia and Slovenians all over the world. And also help Slovenians abroad to have a stronger relationship with Slovenia and to be also able to return to Slovenia. And one last thing to say is we truly depend on your generosity and the ASEF community who makes all this possible. This year, we have the end of year fundraiser where our goal is to raise $50,000 by the end of the year. We'd really encourage everyone, both in Slovenia as well as in the all over the world, to go to our website and make a donation. Everything counts and will make an amazing difference to all of us. To conclude, ASEF is an amazingly diverse and thriving community. In these 8 years since the founding, there are exactly 200 fellows, students that we helped. About, let's say, 120 come from Slovenia and the other 80 come from the rest of the world. And we were able to provide these exchanges between Slovenians. We have over 115 mentors and tutors who are voluntarily contributing their time to advise and mentor and teach these young minds, these 200 students. And we also have Slovenian families, 11 of them, who host Slovenian students every year when they come to different parts of the world. And this is really the core of our community. It is the young people, the junior fellows, the students, the mentors who are giving them the knowledge, wisdom, and mentoring them, as well as Slovenian host families who are willing to take these students into their home for the duration of the visit. On top of that, there is a large number of volunteers and supporters who are making those possible. Over the years, our network of donors is 249, or let's round it up to 250. And also we thank various offices and ministries of the Slovenian government for providing support to ASEF. So thank you so much. It's been an honor and privilege to be able to help and establish ASEF and have an opportunity to work with all of you and really see how deeply appreciated and transformative this work that we are putting into this organization, how it has transformed both the Slovenian communities abroad as well as Slovenia with the next generation of leaders. From ASEF fellows, we have new university professors at best universities all over the world, as well as members of the parliament in Slovenia and many other important functions. So in these 8 years, we helped raise the next generation of leaders in Slovenia. So thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to 2023.
Thank you, Professor Leskovec, for this comprehensive presentation. A saying goes that no one can whistle a symphony alone. It takes a whole orchestra to play it. With this in mind, we would like to sincerely thank each and every part of the orchestra that contributes to the ASEF Symphony. Thank you to ASEF mentors, sponsors, and ASEF office members. A special thank you goes out to Slovenian communities all around the world, in particular to the families who kindly host ASEF Junior Fellows during their research visits. If you wish to host the next generation of ASEF Junior Fellows, we kindly invite you to contact us through the ASEF website. A link with more information will be provided via the chat. But now we will continue tonight's event by listening to conversations between ASEF mentors and junior fellows that have successfully collaborated in the past year. Firstly, we will hear from Antonia Starc, ASEF Junior Fellow from the USA, and Professor Dr. Tomaž Deželan from Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Ljubljana.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. So I chose to be an ASEF Junior Fellow because of my long-term interest in Slovenia, its culture, and my family's history there. Since my grandparents and most of my family lived or currently live there, I wanted to connect with them and my roots. Having the opportunity to go to Slovenia led me to explore not only personal but professional interests that have since benefited me greatly. During my time in Slovenia, with the assistance of my mentor, I researched asylum seeking and refugee policies in the United States, Slovenia, and the European Union. Through reading a number of books, journal articles, government statistics, and conducting personal interviews with locals who work with many refugees and asylum seekers, with the help of Dr. Deželan, I sought out information related to my topic. Based on my mentor's advice, I narrowed down the scope of my paper, continued improving it throughout the duration of my stay, and learned about the various differences and even similarities in policies, realities, and leaders within the US and Slovenia. Although this topic has taken me and will continue to take me much longer than 10 weeks to thoroughly analyze, it was amazing to be able to have so much support and so many resources available while I was there. And though my paper is still a work in progress, I have learned an incredible amount about Slovenia and the process for refugee and asylum seekers, and hope to continue learning more as I still work on it. Though I'm currently in the midst of working at my new job, I hope and aspire to keep perfecting my paper with the connections I have made in Slovenia, as well as continue my exploration of Slovenia and its systems there, as well as how they compare to America.
Right, I think it's my turn now. So first of all, I'd like to express nothing but pure appreciation for being able to perform this part of ASEF mentor, and also my personal appreciation to Antonia for, well, being such a great sport, as it said, but truly for being such a great student, as well as a colleague with whom we shared quite a lot of very interesting conversation that actually addressed, academic topics for sure, but also, I guess, our family histories, which are not so different. So performing the role of the academic mentor to Antonia was actually a true academic treat. She already explained, she addressed the topic of asylum regimes, which is a challenge in itself. If you just look at the EU perspective or EU case or Slovenian case in itself, but she did it in a comparative perspective. So she basically addressed the problem of two main fortresses that function as migration targets that we know today. And since she approached it from the comparative US-EU perspective, this made it particularly exciting well, for me as well, also because of my, well, one of my other hats, which is also a coordinator of American Studies PhD program. So in that sense, it was a personal academic treat as well. And obviously the knowledge acquired and accumulated, and I guess also in some way disseminated, will be or will enrich the entire field today, and then also within my community, and not just ASEF academic community. But it was, as I said at the beginning, mostly or primarily my personal treat, since obviously she introduced a personal note in her research that actually touched the identity of her family, herself, her family, and its migration history, as well as mine and my previous explorations into that about a decade ago. So as our families share similar migration histories, our conversations actually opened up new dimensions in, well, our collaboration in the project, but as well as my personal, intimate, actually wish to actually pursue this area of interest a bit more. So in a way, to be precise, the project allowed me to revisit my family history and its migration in the US during the 20th century, and my personal wish to actually someday perform a research on that. So as a result, Antonia's commitment was, well, unparalleled, which was clearly felt also by my group of assistants who actually had the privilege of working with her for this limited period of time. And obviously her results also clearly reveal that. Therefore, I'd like to first of all thank Antonia for enriching my academic and personal life, as well as ASEF for making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor De Gelaan and Antonia, for sharing your experience. As Professor Leskovec said, I think it's great that the Junior Fellow program works in both directions. Not only can Slovenian students perform research visits at a foreign university under the mentorship of a Slovenian professor, but also ASEF also welcomes talented young people of Slovenian heritage and gives them an opportunity to visit Slovenia and grow professionally, while also getting to experience our country, its language and culture. I am now pleased to announce the next conversation between ASEF mentor, Dr. Klementina Fontacer, professor at Texas Tech University, and her 2022 Junior Fellows coming from Slovenia, Denis Tepichar and Tadej Rončič.
Howdy all. Now I've always found the brain and all the conditions that affect it are of a particularly cruel and difficult nature, not just for the patient, him or herself, but also for his or her family. This is why I've always strided to put this on the front of my academic pursuits, to try and unravel why these conditions are so terrible, which is why when I heard about the American Slovenian Education Foundation and the 10-week research visit they plan, I immediately knew that this was the logical next step forward for my career. Now, both Tadej and I worked in Dr. Klementina Fontacer's laboratory in the beautiful yellow city of Amarillo, Texas. We both worked on the key aspect of the laboratory, which are melanoma-associated antigen genes, or MAGEs, which play key roles in several different cancer subtypes. Now, my personal research was more neuroscientifically focused, since I was working with the gene MAGEL2, which is predominantly included in several neurodevelopmental disorders, such as the Prader-Willi and Schaff-Yang syndrome, among several others. Now, the red lining of my research was to hopefully help in laying the groundwork for a search for a cure for these as of yet incurable diseases. Now, as I previously stated, neuroscience is a personal passion of mine, which is why I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity and the collaboration, and am hopeful that it'll be long and fruitful, and that in a couple of years we'll be able to provide you with some good and encouraging news on our front. Now, this is all from my side, and now I'm going to pass the word on to Today, who also worked with mages, but from a slightly different angle.
Okay, so my background is a bit different to Dennis. As an undergraduate student in the field of veterinary medicine, I did not really hesitate when I got an opportunity to apply for an ASEF Junior Fellowship. Prior to my application, I had very limited research experience, so I was strongly convinced that by joining ASEF, I would not only receive a 10-week, unforgettable 10-week research visit, but I would also, it would also help me for my future career. So as Dennis also already mentioned, my project was also about the melanoma antigen proteins, or MAGE proteins as they're also called. My project was a bit different to Dennis's. I was trying to study more about the physiological function of the MAGE proteins, and the topic of my research was to determine whether long-term stress impacts the expression of those genes. So the project that I have been working on is a part of a bigger project that Dr. von Tatzer's lab is working on, and it's about the family of MAGE, which is a family of proteins that is aberrantly expressed in several different types of cancers. And as I have a strong interest in cancer research, and this is also the area where I would like to pursue my career in, I was really glad that Dr. von Tatzer suggested this topic for my project at the Texas Tech University. So during my visit, I was introduced to several different research techniques and methods. And after coming back, what I can say now is that not only have I mastered those techniques, gained an enormous amount of knowledge about research, but I've also built numerous connections and friendships. And being a part of ASEF and being a part of Dr. von Tatzer's lab, I've gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and I strongly believe that it prepared me well for my future career. And now I would like to pass the word on to our advisor, Professor Dr. Clementina von Tatzer.
Hello. I guess it's my time now. Do you hear me well? I would just like to start with expressing my gratitude to being part of this community, and really, I think for every Slovenians being abroad, it's really a mission to contribute back. And then it was also exciting for me to see my students now. And also what I want to really share with you, how inspiring it is for me to see when they come here in Amarillo, and I can see them, how they get integrated in my lab, as well as the bigger community at the Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine. And actually to somehow help with that, we normally assign them spots like where they sit and share space with PhD students and other like veterinary students at the campus. And by doing that, really we can speed up this process of integration. And in addition to that, they share apartments with students here in Amarillo. And this is also, I think, contributing to their experience, cultural experiences, as well as it broadens their horizons. Our community is very international. And I think this is really great for young people to be able to have this experience. And as today and Dennis already mentioned, they plan to come and do their 10 weeks of work here. But then what they found is like lifelong friends, and also passion for science is increased. And they, both of them actually expressed interest to come back, to return. And Dennis was already accepted to our graduate school, and I'm excited for him coming back. And regarding the research, even before students come, we start to talk about projects and they start to work and think about experiments they would like to do. So Denis, for example, started to work on his Brother Willie project when he was still in Ljubljana, and then hit the ground running when he came to Amarillo. He was optimizing the protocols that will be critical for this project to be developed in our lab, and for him as a PhD student later next year in our lab. And then, so Denis was more in the beginning of the year in ASEF fellow in my group, but then today arrived later this year. We also immediately included him in the ongoing experiments, and given his background in veterinary medicine, he had his own ideas about what kind of questions he wants to ask and which experiments he wants to do. So they teamed up with a research associate and they worked very well together, planned their experiments and performed experiments by themselves, aiming to understand really how stress and nutrition impacts male fertility. And during this time in the lab, he analyzed more than 100 samples and to determine how these proteins that we are interested in melanoma antigens or MAGEs, in short, that are very interesting proteins, how they are important in male germ cells. So both Tadej and Denis also actively participated in our weekly lab meetings, journal clubs, and of course we also meet one-on-one on a weekly basis to discuss the experiments, the project, and also the results and what are our next steps. So together, Denis and Tadej very importantly contributed to our projects in the lab. And so Denis also performed part of his master thesis research during his stay, and both of them considering pursuing PhD with us as well. So as I mentioned, Denis already had been accepted to the graduate school, and not only that, he was awarded with very distinguished graduate school assistantship. So overall, this was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to collaborate or work with ASEF in the future years, and I'm deeply grateful for all the support that we get. So I'm looking for a good work we do together.
Thank you, Denis Tepihar, Tadej Jerončić, and Dr. Klementina Fantacer for this interesting conversation. We are happy that ASEF fellowships enable such fruitful collaborations between ASEF fellows and their mentors. We will continue with another presentation that illustrates how much the ASEF Fellowship can contribute to creating new professional connections and allows young scientists to learn and gain new experiences. I would like to welcome ASEF Junior Fellow from the USA, Joseph Mesner, who will present his visit in Slovenia, where he collaborated with Mr. Sašo Šmigić at Generali Investments.
Thank you all for being here. I am Joseph Mesner. I am 22 years old and I'm from the United States. I'm an ASEF Junior Fellow of 2022 and I got the chance to visit Slovenia this past summer. My mentor was Sašo Šmigić and I learned about asset management at Generali Investments. I wanted to participate in the Visit Slovenia program because I wanted to learn more about where my family is from, improve my Slovene language skills, and gain experience working at a financial institution. During my time with Sašo and Generali Investments, I learned a lot about the financial industry of Slovenia and the EU as a whole. I mainly worked with the firm's real estate fund, and it was interesting to see the similarities and differences between how the industry works in Slovenia versus the United States. I also got a lot of exposure to economic research and writing reports about the Slovenian, EU, and American economies. While I was there, I also had the opportunity to have regular video calls with Generali's business partners in Warsaw, Poland, and I even had a business trip to Zagreb, Croatia. This was a great learning experience to build skills in international business, and it was fun to interact with people from other countries in Europe. Generali was an amazing place to have my program with, because I didn't just have one mentor, but many people around me helping and teaching me. I had the opportunity to learn from professionals in sales, law, marketing, real estate, renewable energy, and many other backgrounds. Moreover, it was great just going to the office every day and talking to the people of Generali and learning more about finance, comparing the United States and Slovenia, and getting great career and personal advice. Every day that I was at Generali, I felt like I was making an impact. Outside of the mentorship program at Generali, I was able to make many friends through ASEF and got to explore all over Slovenia. With ASEF, I was able to visit many great places, such as the Logar Valley, Žalec, Celje, and Novo Mesto. On my own, I had the opportunity to hike in the mountains around the Kranjska Gora, swim in the Adriatic Sea, explore the historic town of Piran, and experience all of the festivals and cultural sites Ljubljana has to offer. With help from ASEF, I was able to participate in a 2-week-long accelerated Slovene language course at the University of Ljubljana. This was a great program that helped me progress from knowing only a few words in Slovene to being able to engage in basic conversation. Moreover, the course was led by an amazing teacher, and I was accompanied by great peers from all over the world, many of whom I remained friends with after the course ended. Overall, the ASEF Junior Fellowship program was an amazing opportunity. I learned so much about finance, developed valuable skills and knowledge for my career, got the opportunity to explore a beautiful country, and I made many lifelong friends. Because of this program, I want to continue practicing my Slovene language skills and further my roots in Slovenia and with the Slovene community in North America. In my personal career, I would love to create business ties in Slovenia and advance economic relations with Slovenia and the United States. I look forward to my next visit to Slovenia so I can explore more of the country, visit old friends, and make new memories. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Joseph. It sounds like you had an amazing time here in Slovenia. Let me mention that this year, 12 remarkable fellows from the US, Argentina, Canada, and Belgium completed their 10-week visit under the mentorship of esteemed Slovenian professors and entrepreneurs. To celebrate this and the new connections between Slovenia and Slovenian communities abroad, let's listen to one of the most beautiful Slovenian songs written by Avsenik Brothers Ensemble, which will be performed by Jakob Kobal.
Thank you, Jakob, for this wonderful performance. The title of the song wonders where all of the Slovenian beauty and charm come from. And I'm pretty sure it comes from good-hearted people that form all sorts of communities, like our audience today. I would like to sincerely thank our generous contributors in the past, which have created opportunities for excellent Slovenian students. These students are eager to discover different cultures, gain new skills, and expand their knowledge, helping them form their character and develop their potential to the fullest. Before we meet some of them, let me encourage you to help us raise funds for supporting the next generation of ASEF Junior Fellows. You can find more details about how to donate in the Zoom chat. Your support is much appreciated. Without further ado, let's hear from our Junior Fellows. Presentations are divided based on the field of study. Firstly, we will begin with medicine and biology, continue with physics and engineering, following by chemistry and biochemistry students. Then we will hear from computer science students, and finally from social sciences and economics. Colleagues, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. Now, I believe that working with world-renowned experts and being exposed to their ideas can be invaluable for one's academic development. And this is exactly what ASEF enables its fellows to do through the 10-week research visit abroad. I have always been interested in modeling medicinally relevant biological systems and was able to further my knowledge of these fields during my stay in the Shally Lab at UCSF in San Francisco. We consider data from various experimental techniques as well as computational models in an effort to construct a structural model of the SARS-CoV-2 NSP2 and human RAP1 GDS1 protein complex. Not only have I extended my skill set during my visit, but also identified key areas I need to work on in the coming years to maximize my scientific development.
Good evening, everybody, and also thank you for being here from my side. During my research visit, I wanted to gain knowledge on bioinformatics, so I got the privilege to work under the mentorship of Dr. Jene Ule on Francis Crick Institute in London. I was able to join a project which is focused on building a more efficient protocol for preparing RiboSeq libraries. By being presented with the challenge, I was able to contribute to the project by building a part of software that processes and compares RNA sequences with libraries from public databases. The summer visit was a really great experience of living and working abroad. In addition, it also gave me the determination to pursue my career in bioinformatics.
Good evening, everybody. To me personally, the research visit was really important for my professional growth since COVID really limited one of the great benefits of doing a PhD, that is meeting new people who share similar interests. The problem I was working on was probabilistic modeling of electrical load and photovoltaic generation, which enables efficient and robust management of electricity distribution. The work at the lab will hopefully be published in a scientific journal and will be a part of my doctoral dissertation.
Hi, I joined a research group led by Dr. Uroš Ciljak, which discusses novel methods of optimization with application to simulation in statistical field theories. The project I was working on is now at a later stage, and the paper is being prepared for publishing. Working under the mentorship of Dr. Ciljak, along with a 10-week visit in the spring of this year, has fulfilled my desire to do research in an international environment.
ASEF Junior Fellowship was a chance for me to explore the fascinating world of chemistry research. Working in the lab of Professor Sarlach allowed me to learn more about the natural product synthesis and the use of natural products as potential anti-cancer drugs. The research visit expanded my practical knowledge and inspired me to further pursue my research career.
I wanted to take my research to a higher level, make new connections in the academic community, and gain a different perspective on a topic of my doctoral thesis, it was very important to me to conduct research abroad and work with experts in their field. Given his past work and research interests, ASEF Professor Kobal offered exactly what I was looking for. Results that I obtained in his lab will be incorporated into my dissertation, and we furthermore extended our collaboration by inviting him to become a member of my PhD committee.
My name is Meta Kodric, and my main motivation to conduct the 10-week research visit at Professor Kobal's laboratory was to learn more about the laboratory techniques used in structural biology research. I worked with protein TLR10, which is important in the anti-inflammatory signaling pathways of innate immunity, and the methodology used in my research was everything from molecular cloning to protein preparation and purification, X-ray crystallography, and negative stain electron microscopy. I found out that TLR10 and its mutant that is associated with asthma interact with adapter proteins in a different fashion, which could explain the different outcome of the signaling cascade they initiate.
And this summer I had the privilege of spending my summer with Dr. Murin's team at University of California, Riverside. I really believe that gathering new experiences helps you become the best person you can be, and my research visit was filled with them. The state-of-the-art RNA research and broad introduction to bioinformatics had really opened my eyes to a whole new world of biology. Even after the visit, I'm still passionate about the field and was even able to join Dr. Ule's RNA lab here in Slovenia, who I have amazingly also met through ASEF. This experience had a real impact on my career path and had filled me with a whole new passion for research.
I wanted to have the experiments of researching abroad because I wanted to learn from the best and broaden my horizons by meeting people with different backgrounds than my background. So during the summer, I worked with Professor Jure Leskovec and his research group on a broad research project on pre-training graph neural networks. And I have developed a new algorithm for this task. And even after the return from my research visit, I'm still collaborating with the research group. And I have to say that overall, that research visit has been a very fulfilling experience and has also motivated my current work.
I applied for the ASEF Junior Fellowship because I was interested in gaining more experience in my field by working in a research group at one of the world's leading universities. This summer, I joined the research group of Professor Leskovec, in which I worked on a project where we used graph neural networks to make personalized predictions of drug side effects. Since my return, I have continued to stay in touch with the group. My research visit was an amazing experience, and it further increased my interest in continuing academic work.
During my research visit, I have been working on artificial intelligence method for biomedicine at Professor Jure Leskovec's group. More precisely, I was involved in developing a framework for predicting drug side effects and perturbations in gene expressions. Moreover, I also had a chance to attend some lectures at Stanford University. This research visit has also been one of the driving forces behind my decision to continue my career in research as a PhD student. And I wish to thank everyone who made my research visit possible.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I decided I want to apply for ASEF Fellowship because I knew it would give me opportunity to grow as a person and also as a professional. And also I expected it would be fun, and it was. So I visited Professor Sarah Dolničar at the University of Queensland, Australia, and I was a part of Low Harm Hedonism Initiative project. And we are looking for new ways how to influence tourists to behave more environmentally friendly. And the result of the project was that I learned a lot, and we have developed 16 different experiments which are about to be executed in hotels, also in Slovenia. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This research visit was a great opportunity for me to get some international experience during my PhD studies to broaden my research topic and connect it to other relevant fields. Our research collaboration with Professor Rožanec resulted in an article that we are about to publish, which discusses the roles of experts in our society, taking into account the changes in the public sphere that we are witnessing today. This research collaboration is not only important for my future academic development, but also directly addresses some of the problems that we are facing as a society and which will become even more important in the future.
Hi everyone, my name is Matej and I'm currently on a research visit at UC Berkeley. I'm working on profitability of liquidity providers on automated market makers. With the research group, we've just ended formulating the mathematical model, which will now apply onto empirical data. Throughout the visit, I interacted with the world's leading researchers, attended academic conferences at Berkeley, and last but not least, formed lifelong friendships with the hosting Starc family and other Slovenians in the Bay Area.
Matej, thank you for sharing your experience. It is nice to hear that you were able to find a hosting family and that you get along so well. I would like to kindly remind our audience that ASEF is currently looking for new families that would be prepared to host our junior fellows during their 10-week research visit. We would appreciate it if you considered or extended this invitation to your family and friends and help ASEF to continue building beautiful stories in the years to come. A big thank you also to other junior fellows who presented their research experience today. And now, let's proceed with the final part of today's event. We are honored to announce the first ASEF Community Award that recognizes and celebrates the contribution of an extraordinary volunteer who makes a difference in our community.
That's right. Although more than a single name comes to my mind, there is one person that I believe deserves it the most. He has put an outstanding amount of effort into making ASEF a vibrant community of ambitious students from various backgrounds. Allow me to mention just a few of his contributions. He's the chief organizer of ASEF Stories, a series of events where junior fellows interview and discuss with successful entrepreneurs. He oversees the ASEF Computer Science Reading Club and is actively participating in designing new programs where future junior fellow generations can exchange ideas. He's a true volunteer by heart and by action. At this point, I would kindly invite Professor Dr. Jure Leskovec to present this year's recipient of ASEF Community Award.
ASEF is a community, and ASEF activities would not be possible without strong participation of many volunteers who make programs, education, and exchanges possible. So this year we decided to launch ASEF Community Award to recognize the hard work and dedication of many members of our community who make all this possible. So I'm really excited and honored to be able to announce that the recipient of the inaugural ASEF Community Award is Jože Rožanec. Jože is actually an ASEF fellow from 2016 when he was visiting University of California at Berkeley, working on artificial intelligence. Ever since then, Jože has been a driving force for a number of activities and organizing our junior fellows into a thriving community where they can learn, work on projects, organize events, invite speakers, build workshops, create podcasts, newsletters, and many, many other activities. Jože is full of positive energy and has an amazingly good heart. He has energy to organize and motivate others to join in, to put in the hard work, and while doing so, they help build the community. But at the same time, the young this way themselves learn, grow, and get the priceless experience for the rest of their lives. Because the best way to learn is to do. Jože, really congratulations for all the work, and thank you for your effort, dedication, and contagious energy. Really well deserved.
Jože, iskreno čestitke.
Hvala.
Čestitke, Jože.
Hvala. I am humbled, honored, and grateful for this award. I'd like to thank ASEF as an organization, the founders, the executive committee, the ASEF community, and the wonderful people working at ASEF organization, doing so much good for Slovenia and for the Slovenians worldwide. I would also like to remember in this place family, friends, mentors, and the many people who advised, thought, supported, and helped in many ways over these years. Without them, many accomplishments would not have been achieved. The ASEF Community Award emphasizes community building. Every ASEF fellow should be characterized by intellectual rigor, moral character, community building, and the ability to make ethical decisions. Each community member has different talents, and this diversity of talents is one of our strengths. Community building is one way to give back the many goods we have received. But giving back is not just about reciprocity. It is about loving the people in the community and going the extra mile for them. To serve each other, to share what we have, to help each other grow, to become multipliers and make each other better, and do so with unwavering kindness. While we celebrate success, we must remember we are imperfect and inevitably make mistakes. Let us be patient with each other and use these opportunities to fall forward gracefully. When not everything goes as planned, let's not get discouraged, but learn from our mistakes and strengthen our determination to continue walking and growing together patiently. Strengthen our determination to serve, to build, and to achieve. No one works and succeeds alone. My case was not an exception. Therefore, I consider this award also a recognition to the many ASEF fellows with whom we collaborated over the past 4 years in many projects and activities. We forged great relationships and teams. The motivation and purpose transpired by many fellows have been a source of inspiration. Together, we shape a stronger ASEF and co-create a brighter future for Slovenia and the Slovenians worldwide. Thank you, and let's continue working humbly to turn dreams a reality.
Thank you, Jože. And once again, congratulations. You truly deserve this award. Unfortunately, we have come to the final part of this year's ASEF End of the Year celebration. Please allow me to gather my final thoughts. Tonight, we got to know many bright and ambitious young individuals and receive insights on their adventures as junior fellows, which could not have happened without your support. Let me take this final opportunity to invite you to donate to our foundation, and we promise you to keep standing by these talented people committed to their work and serving their community.
Finally, I would like to thank all the distinguished guests, ASEF mentors, and junior fellows for sharing their stories. A special thanks goes to Jakob Kobal for his exceptional musical contributions, and to all the families that did and will open their doors to our fellows, and of course, to everybody who generously donated today. Last but not least, I would like to thank the whole ASEF team for their hard work, not only for preparing tonight's event, but throughout the whole year. And of course, we would especially like to thank you for your attendance and continued support of ASEF. From all of us at ASEF, we thank you for being with us today, and we wish you peaceful holidays and all the best in the new year. Thank you again, and have a pleasant evening.